a sample list that I made, and he wanted me to just show you what it looks like. Now, once I have the list open, a lot of times I'll delete tons of columns that I don't need, or that I'll just like delete. So I kind of squeeze this list down. This was folks in Seward County that have not voted in the last 4 general or primary elections. Okay, so yes, I forgot about the kids. But this is what we used, and then we did this awesome get out the vote flyer, and we sent it out in Seward County to 1,100 people in Seward County. I mean, that's a lot, and our county's not that much bigger than yours. I think we're like 11,000 voters. I mean, we're a little bigger, but we're not that much bigger. And so, but you see the information that you get here, okay? And so that list that I just sent to Luke is going to look just like this, and then he can delete and condense into the column. Some of the stuff people don't care about, but depending on the kind of research you're doing or the kind of effort you're doing, like right now I had a lady step down off my county central committee. So I want to replace her with somebody in the same commissioner district, but I want to pick someone from a different voting precinct because it's one of the 4 that I need to fill to have all 16 represented. So I went in here, I made a list, I narrowed through the search parameters, and I brought up a list of all the potential people. So there's 100 people that I can look at in that specific precinct who are hardcore, voted in the last 4 out of 4 primary elections that I can go ask. And those are going to be my future precinct leaders.
And pause there. This is also excellent tool for candidate recruitment. It's the exact same purpose. You're just talking about county right now. This is how you find candidates in your area. You can use this tool to break down whatever you want for district or political subdivision or area. It's the perfect way to then do the political things. And this is where, once again, the Republican Party has not been good as a whole in telling people what's available. Everybody's awestruck at what we're looking at right now. Nobody knew it was there.
And that's off to you guys.
Right, so we're trying to change that because we can't effectively win elections if we don't use what we have available to us. So that's what we're trying to do. It's going to take a while to get everybody onboarded and educated, but we're starting, we're trying.
This is, now that you spent all the time, what is your response rate? You sent out 1,100.
Well, okay, I'll give you an example. I sent out an invitation to my debate night watch party, and I had 75 people show up to my debate night watch party that were not part of our party. And I was like, wow. And so, but I probably sent 300 notices out. Now that was texting. I used the texting feature for that.
Curiosity was, you have all those wondering, after the election, if that tells you a clue on how many voted Republican after you.
Oh, I don't have that kind of data.
I was
Yeah.
wondering if
They
there
don't
was
have that. That will never come across. That's the secrecy of voting. We'll never know who the person voted for. We just know that as a Republican, they voted. Or a Democrat, they
Or
voted.
does it show you an increase of the area?
The Secretary of State's office does produce very detailed data about who turned out for your county, and you get a percentage, and you can track the percent turnout. So yes, you can see if that turnout percentage increased and compare it to the previous, or even be to the general versus a primary.
Your county clerk could do that too. That's
Yep.
where you're going to get a lot of that.
But that's right online, but you can get it to Secretary of State's website. Okay, so here's the thing. I really am excited to show you about the shared drive resources. So I think I'm gonna do maybe 5 minutes on Numenar, take a little break so people can go to the bathroom, and then sort of the grand finale, which I'm the most excited about, is our shared resources drive that we're gonna highlight and showcase for you. Okay, so let's just open Numenar real quick. I thought I had it opened already. I get
I'll
so,
pull it up on the app too and walk around because it's going to be a little different.
oh wait, I have to log in under my personal thing for Numenar because maybe that's why. Come on. I freeze up on tech when I'm nervous. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, like I get like, because at home I'm like.
So what you're going to see as Danna's pulling that up so she doesn't have to talk and think at the same time you'll end up finding a little bit different look of the platform on the mobile versus on the desktop. So when you're on the desktop, that's what you're going to use to build your walk lists or to build your areas you're going to go attack when you door knock or phone call. The part that's going to be viewable by your volunteers in your county is going to be on the app. You can't do the building of the lists on the app. It has to be done through the web browser. You wouldn't want to either, it's too small. Once you get into it, you'll notice it would be really a disaster to try to do.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of showcase this for you real fast. I'm going to tell you some of the basic things you need to know. So first of all, this Numenar program is the same thing as the GOP data center. It can do the same exact thing,
Okay.
only then some.
Yep.
And then lots more, okay? So your GOP data center is your basic, and then this takes it to another level. And so I'm a state admin for Numenar. That's why you see multiple races. But when you open Numenar,
You're one that's on the, so I can follow
I'm gonna
along
do
and show that.
Seward. We're gonna do Seward. So I'll go down to Seward County.
Do one of these though, because then I can show them the same stuff on the app as you're going through it.
I'm not gonna go get into the walkbooks necessarily. I was
Okay.
gonna just do real basic. But if
Okay.
you want to, I can highlight one.
I think it'd
It's
be
fine.
important.
Okay. So when you open your Numenar app, you're only gonna see Colfax County. You're not gonna have all these choices. So I'm gonna go, what do you want?
Go Dan Fry for
Okay.
Congress.
I don't know if I'm on that one, believe
Okay,
it or
Bob
not.
Anderson.
Okay, I know I have
Or-
Anderson.
Or Linda Vermeulen, that was a state multi-county.
Bob Anderson. I got Bob
Okay,
Anderson.
go
Is
to
that
Bob.
right?
That's fine.
Okay, so and again, I'm trying to 60,000 feet, and I'm over here on the ground. I'm trying to keep this as basic as possible. But the Numenar app is what you use for walkbooks. How many of you have heard of Advantage? That was one we used to use in the past. So it's for walking, and it's also for calling, and it's also for texting. So this starts to get kind of high tech and fancy. So we're gonna go back, and what would you like me to show first as far as the? I think I have
Let's
everything.
show the list,
lists.
how to make the list, because they already kind of saw that with, do Bob A expanded area 1, just so then I can follow along with you.
Let me close this out. Sorry. Bob expanded area 1.
Yep. Go back up a little bit.
Let's see. Am I missing it?
Maybe it's Bob Anderson Geo. That's weird. Expanded. Just click on any of them. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know why it's not showing up. I wonder if it got.
Well, I guess this is also something to point out to you is that these are all different lists that the Bob Anderson campaign made while they were working, and then
I guess you can search for it here.
what was it called?
Bob A
Oh.
expanded. There you go. Oh, I guess
See,
it's
it says
different.
pure GOP.
I don't know
Maybe
what
they
happened.
changed the name.
Might have
But
been
you're on the
deleted.
phone, so maybe it's a little different. I don't know.
Could be.
This is why I wanted to show them Seward County, because I could navigate a little better. But let's just open it up and we'll see. Okay, so if you look along the left, you see something similar to GOP database, where you've got the demographics, geography, and these are your filters for how you're going to narrow down your list. And then what's cool about this is you can actually toggle around and look at things a different way just by changing these tags and changing these filters. And then geofencing is the term that Numenar uses for walkbooks. So when you hear walkbooks, we all know it as walkbooks, but they call it a geofence, but we all still say walkbooks. And that's where again, once you learn how to do this as a county party, helping a county commissioner or a city council person, they're just blown away that we can even do this. And so this is the data. You actually draw the lines around the neighborhoods that they're gonna hit on a particular weekend, and you're gonna help them determine who they're gonna door knock on, and then where they're gonna door knock, and then they're gonna open their phone and download the app, and then they're gonna go knock those doors, and then he's got the cool app on the phone where you just click it and it tells you who lives in the house, who's a Democrat, who's a Republican, how many people live in the household, and then you have little survey questions that your campaign has fed you. I just want you to ask them 2 things, and then you put the questions in there, and then you can answer it. And when you answer the questions, that data gets fed back to the campaign. And again, we're operating in our rural counties on a completely different level than Sarpy and Lancaster. But I have to tell you, Seward County ran, we used this with the county commissioner, and he loved it, because now, like, one of the questions is, will you take a yard sign? Yes, I will. So then at the end, when you get back home, you print the list, and now you have all the addresses, and you drive back. We even had one day, he was walking one Saturday morning, and I said, all right, I'm gonna be watching on my computer, and we're gonna follow you. So every time you get a yes on a yard sign, we've got him in the car, and we're just gonna follow you and put him right in, like right behind you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah, we spend so much time going around asking, we better be on.
Yep. So in the campaign manager or the candidate or the county chair who's helping them could say, well, what questions do you want us to ask? And we recommend basic questions like, what's your top issue? It's all there's a whole list, and this is where I'm not a campaign consultant, but they get very strategic about what they're asking people, and then at the end, obviously, you're closing them on, will you vote for Mary Jane or will you vote for Bob? And if they say yes, then you put a yes in there. And then guess what? You don't have to go back to that house and call that house again. And the system tracks all that. So again, this is a whole nother level, but the main thing you need to take away today is that we have the access to this, and that you can be the value added party now to say, hey, and leave the federal races and the big regional races. Let the campaign consultants handle that. And some of the campaign consultants are threatened by this and have really been negative to us about it. But you know what? If I can get 5 new candidates going in my county, I don't have time to do all of that. And some of those are bigger races, like a county sheriff or a county clerk. Those guys are going to need the consultants' help. And so if I recruit more candidates to run, I'm going to be referring people over to those consultants, right? I can't do it all. And so I don't think there's any reason they should be salty that we're getting into this. But again, most of the people I know in Seward County that are running for school board or city council, they don't have the money. They're not putting big money into these races. And so this is stuff that we can do for them for very little money. Now, there is a charge to use Numenor for the candidate, not for you. You as a representative of the county, you get your own account. And so the reason I set it up that way is because if you have a school board candidate and they're a great candidate but they have no money, this allows you to still help them and still do all the same things, but then your board can vote to say, hey, we're going to endorse this candidate, we're going to help them, and we're going to use our resources to help them. But it's only like $100 or $150 for the whole election cycle for those down ballot races. And so most people have been happy to pay that. In fact, we've been beta testing this for that last election cycle. So we're just now, and everyone I talk to is like, oh yeah, that's easy. I can afford that. And then the higher the race goes, then the more they have to pay to use it. Go ahead.
So, I remember you saying, maybe you can just clarify this, like GOP data center, you said it's for the executive officers, but the executive officers can say like, hey, we also want this person to have access to it, and then like they text you, email you, and
Okay,
you
so as long
accept
as
it?
as long as you're approved by the chair to access it, the chair just has to let me know.
Okay.
And then everybody, whether it's a board member or a non-board member, has to fill out the data access agreement. Because you basically sign a legal document that says that, you're gonna be in big trouble if you use this list for your personal business, or you use this list to sell information to whatever. I mean, we have had people who use the list because they're an insurance agent, and they create mailers and create mailing lists and stuff. And that's what the RNC, we didn't just make up this document on our own. The data access agreement is inspired from the RNC.
Is that the same thing with Numenor?
Yes, they're combined.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's the same thing like if my chairman says, I want you to be involved, and so he gets me access to Numenor. Okay.
And when your county party has an account with Numenor, you will be on their team. And so you automatically get your own login and your own credentials. They can put anybody on the team that they want to.
Any number of candidates?
Yep.
Yes.
The county can help any number of
The
candidates.
county can. What we would recommend though is that each campaign has their own, and It's easier because then they have what happens if you have all of the different campaigns in one, it's confusing, but you may have two Republicans running against each other. You don't want people having each other's data. And so that's the best way. And it does cost when a campaign uses it, but it's tiered to where the lower level races pay less than it would be for the person running for Congress, right? But yes, and she's showing the team list here. So anybody that's ever helped Bob, I should be on that list too. I've knocked doors for him. You'll see that pops up, and you can assign them various levels of access. So if you wanted, let's say you want to be super involved and help Bob, and you want to actually help cut walk books for people, so Bob's not doing it all himself as a candidate, he can give you access to do that. So this is how you involve your county party in helping these candidates, is they can be very involved in doing this. So maybe somebody's retired and the main person helping with the campaign can't help make a walkbook during the middle of the day, but somebody that's retired can. They can call that person and say, hey, I know so-and-so's at work. Can you just make me a walk list? I have some time this afternoon to go do some phone calls or knock some doors. And then you could just draw up a little walk list for them, and then they would have it in 30 seconds. So it enables you to then work with people within your county party to help them be a part of the campaign.
If you get lucky and you have like a tech savvy data person that can help out, you can be, but most of these smaller counties, there's usually one person, and that person's running your website and running your socials. They're probably going to be your data person too. But yeah, you might get lucky. You never know. You might have two people. So again, just to be clear, I know I told you we were going to fire hose you. Don't feel like you have to really grasp all this Numenar stuff today. This is for later when it's race time, like when it's actual campaigning time. The GOP data center is for now, for list making and for reaching out and growing your party. So I'll give you an example. What I would recommend if you want to do something fun is plan an event and then the first step, and again, we're gonna take a break to let you guys get something to drink and kind of get back awake from the post-lunch slumber. Then we'll go over and highlight our shared resources. But before we go, I just want to say that for those of you struggling and being brand new, I would recommend that you start by setting up a Facebook group. And if you don't have a page in a group yet, that's going to be our first date. Like, we got to get together and we got to get your Facebook page set up and get your group set up. My Facebook group was born out of the anti-mask crowd, right, during COVID, and that's kind of what started it. Yours might have started from the sex ed standards and stuff, right?
One of them.
But once you get your Facebook group going, so you have somewhere to direct people, then you can make a list and find those 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 hardcore Republicans in your whole county, and you can start mailing things to them, you can start texting them, you can start knocking on doors, you can just call them on the phone and invite them to your start by getting them into your Facebook group. Because most people, again, big city, country, most of my folks are not going to just show up at a thing usually but they will join a Facebook group because they don't have to show up in person right away. And they can go in and, who's in this group and what are they talking about? And then if they feel comfortable, then they might come to your event, right? So my advice and how we did it in Seward is we started with the socials, we started with a group, and then we grew the group. And then we started contacting the people and inviting the people. And then you start socializing. And don't make the same mistake I did. In my first year, we had a business meeting every month. And it was parliamentary procedure, and we did a business meeting every month. Huge mistake. People do not want to show up. People want to visit, and they want to make friends, and they want to talk politics. So you gotta make it fun. You gotta save your business meetings for once a quarter, okay? So it was awful, and we started strong, and all of a sudden it kept dying off, and then less people, and so the next year the board said no more. We got to start socializing. We got to start having fun with these people, especially in an off year, right? We have so much to celebrate right now, so you got to socialize and you got to be fun. And save that parliamentary procedure for the board, for your county board meetings.
Gotta have alcohol.
Gotta have alcohol, yeah, I agree. Not all of our guys we have quite a few teetotalers, but,
That goes alcohol.
Hey, Dan, all right, so we already.
is that a negative connotation, teetotaler? Just
No,
to sit.
people call me that all the time.
Okay, all right, because I know you don't drink. I'm like, is that bad to say, teetotaler?
I don't drink either, but it's always there.
Yeah, it's all you.
Yeah, just a question. All right, so we already have a Stanton County Republican Facebook page.
Okay.
Would that be where we'd start our group, or would
You
it be
can.
something different?
You can link them. There's an ability in Facebook
You
now.
can
You can
link
create
the
groups.
your page to your group. Your Facebook page is your public facing. It's you talking to the public. They don't talk back to you unless they comment. They're not allowed to post there. It's only you, the county party, on a page. But in a group, a private group, that's where you have all these members that can talk back and forth, and anyone can post, anyone can comment, and that's where you want to be careful and not let the Dems in. And you want to have rules. I can help you with the rules, because I just had an issue this week where one of my ultra mega hardcore pro-Trump people put up a meme of a girl smoking a cigar saying, you know what I love about Trump? He pisses off everybody that I can't stand. So then my moderates and my Christian folks and even like my anti-Trump people, they just swoop in and start attacking him. Where's the leadership in this group? Where's the admin? This is a sin. Get this off the page. Well, it is a violation of my rules because I don't allow profanity. Okay? So I'm not taking away their free speech. It's my group and I have rules on my group. So I'm able to tone it down. But what happened, I shouldn't even tell you guys this, but so my previous chair and secretary were still admins on my page, and my previous secretary didn't realize, you should stop the camera. My previous secretary didn't realize that the comment that the guy made was over in the group, so he logged in as an admin on the page, and then he realized, oh, that comment wasn't on the page, that was over in the group. So he toggles over without switching back to his own identity, and he makes a comment as the admin, which everyone thinks is me. I was like, it took me all afternoon to clean up that mess, because I'm like, no, I did not say that. It's not me. So there is some management and moderation that has to happen when you do these social groups. But I will say, overall, that's been one snafu in 2 years. We have not really had a lot of problems if you follow the rules. You've got to follow your own rules. Okay, so to start that list, and I'll help each of you. That can be like a homework assignment for us one-on-one with each of your counties, is we'll get your first list made of your hardcore 4 out of 4 Republicans, and then we'll start targeting them and inviting them and reaching out to them to try and grow your party, or any other list that you want to try to focus on. Okay, how about if we take a 5-minute break, go to the bathroom, get something to drink. I need to get something to drink, and then I'm going to come back with like the mother load of resources to drop on you.